Welcome back. In episode 1, we made Dart say hello. But real apps don't just talk, they remember. They remember your username, your high score, and your settings. In programming, we do this by using variables. Think of a variable as a labeled box in your computer's memory. We have a box name, we put something inside, and we can pull it out whenever we need it. Suppose John is one of the usernames that we need to save. So I'll save it in a variable called username, which acts as a box where I can store John and I can take him out whenever I need him. Now, Dart is the type-safe language. This means that you can't just throw anything into any box, you have to pick the right container for the job. There are 4 built-in types that you need to know. Int, which is short for integer. This is for whole numbers only. Next, we have double. This is for decimals or fractional numbers. Think prices or GPS coordinates. Next, we have string. This is for text. In Dart, we always wrap text in quotes. Lastly, we have boolean, which is the simple switch that goes true or false. Now let's come back to our code. Let's delete all of the sample code on the left and let's start coding. So whenever you start coding in Dart, like I mentioned in the last episode, you start with your main function. Everything starts inside your main function. So let's do something. Let's create variables, give it a type, give it a name, and assign a value. For example, string hero equals to Batman. So this is a variable name, this is its value, and this is its data type. Now you'll see there's an error here. Well, not really an error, but a warning. And that warning is because the value isn't used anywhere. So if you create a variable and if you're not really using it anywhere, there's no point in creating a variable. So Dart just lets you know if you're not using a variable anywhere. Next, you can create an integer variable. So int level equals to, let's say, 10. So like level equals to 10. Level is an integer data type variable. The name is level and the value is 10. You can have health you can have 50.0, so you can have fractional or decimal numbers in your double data type, and boolean could be something like is alive equals to true. So this means that your character is alive. This can either be true or it can be false. Now remember, you cannot assign other values to data types that don't belong in those values. So for example, I cannot give boolean a value like Superman because Superman will be a string value and this is a boolean data type. So it always has to be either true or false without quotes. Let's try printing this. So to print it, simply give in the variable names hero, level, health is alive. So if we simply run this, you can see all these values in the console printed. Now the way I printed these is I put a double quote and inside the quotations I put a $sign. So if I put hero instead of $hero, what do you think will happen? Instead of printing Batman, it will simply just print hero. So a $sign indicates that this is a variable that I want to reference. So $hero would be saying that I want to reference the variable hello and I want to print the value inside the variable and not the name itself. Keep in mind of the semicolons. Each time we finish labeling a box, we end with a semicolon. It's a law in Dart. So after the end of each statement, to make sure that you're adding a semicolon. One pro tip before we go. Sometimes you want a variable that never changes, like your birth year, your API key. If you put the word final in front of your variable, you are effectively putting a padlock on that box. If you try to change it later, the program will crash. This makes your code safer and faster. So for example, if I delete all of this and I put a final variable, the name country, and I put in Nepal, I can print this variable like I would print any other variable. So $country, and if I run this, it will run like normal. It will give me its value. But throughout the execution of this program, if I try to change the value of this variable to something else, it will not allow me to do that because can't assign to the final variable country. It clearly tells me that the final variable country can only be set once and cannot be changed throughout the execution of the program. So if you have any sensitive data that should not be changed anywhere throughout the program, you give the keyword final. However, in a normal data like a string, country equals to Nepal, if I run this, obviously I will get Nepal, but I can change this throughout the execution of the program to something else. Notice when you change a variable's name, you don't need to give its data type all over again. The data type is only necessary when you first initialize the variable. Later on, you can just use the variable name itself to reference that. We finished Dartpad in the last episode, and now we've finished variables and built-in data types. Your homework is to go to Dartpad, create a variable of your favorite movie and its rating. For rating, make sure you're using a double data type and print them both to the console. In the next video, we're moving on to operators and control flow statement. We're going to give our program a brain so it can make decisions. See you in episode 3. Happy coding!